Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am actually doing something really different today. I'm actually doing a testimony video. So most of you might know that I am a Christian. With prayer and a lot of talking with my husband, I actually decided to do a series on my channel, which this series would include testimony videos, videos of what God's done in our lives, marriage videos. It's going to be like maybe a 10 episode series. So this is series number 1, and this is my testimony. So that's what we're going to be doing for now. If it interests you, subscribe to my channel because I will be doing these weekly for the next 10 weeks. Alright, so I want to start off here. I actually have my iPad, so if you see me looking down on a screen, I wrote note just because when I'm speaking, I don't want to miss anything. And as I did explain, this is going to be a series, so I'm not going to go into too much detail because we're going to cover things in the other videos that we're going to record. I'll kind of talk as I go. I'll explain, oh, if this interests you on this topic, then I'm going to be doing a whole new video on that. I guess let's get started. Alright, so I wanted to start off with, I grew up going to Sunday school. Where I used to live, they used to have a bus that comes and they'd pick you up and you could go to Sunday school. And I used to go every single Sunday. I loved going. I was there. The bus came at 8. I was there at 7:45. I had a dress on, my Bible in my hand, and I was ready to get on that bus. I went to Sunday school probably my whole life, so I grew up knowing what God was, who Jesus was, the basics like that. My family didn't go, just my siblings, because the bus only took the kids. It was like a Sunday school. I grew up going till about grade 7. In grade 7 I had to get some hip surgery, and after the hip surgery I just didn't end up going. I was on bed rest for like 6 months, and I didn't want to get on a school bus after those 6 months just because I kind of felt distant from everyone, and I just stopped going. After I stopped going, I was kind of sad. I grew up going to church and I really, really enjoyed going. I was a little girl who just loved Jesus, and I honestly, I actually got my first vision from God, which I'll do a whole separate thing on that, all that stuff. But anyways, when I was going to that Sunday school, and honestly, I really, really liked going, and I was kind of sad. So as the years went by, I became very insecure. Grade 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, we'll get back to that. But I become a very insecure kid. So I was very to myself. I was very shy. I got picked on a lot. Even in elementary school, I was always picked on. My family didn't have these rich money. I didn't have brands here, brands there. So I was picked on quite a bit. But it did make me become very, very insecure. And when I came to grade 11, even grade 10, during high school, I kind of became this person who, you know what, people picked on me my whole life. I really want to stand out. And I came 9 and 10, I met these friends, and just like, I honestly thought I was the coolest person. I went around making fun of people because I wanted to stand out. Really deep down, that was not my personality, but I did want to stand out. When it came to grade 11, I actually started dating this guy, and he was, at the time, he actually invited me out to church. But in the time, he said, you know, I go to this church, you should come check it out. And I said, okay, yeah, you know what, it's sure. I wanted to go for him because I was dating him at the time. But you know what, I thought I would check church out. And this church was Sunday evenings. And when I got in the car to go to church, they did like rides. This guy picked me up and he had rap music blaring. And I was like, this guy's a Christian? He has rap music blaring. But it actually was Christian rap. And growing up, I went to a Baptist church, and I thought, you know, to know God, you have to be religious. And as I went there, as I was in the car, I was like, seriously, this guy's so joyful. Like, he's so full of joy and so full of hope, and he knows that, like, he has a future ahead of him. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, how is this a Christian? Anyways, I got out of the car, and I went to the church, and I was like, everyone was just jumping up for Jesus, and, like, jumping when like the worship music was playing, and I was like, what, is this a church? Like, are you sure this is a church? They were just so full of joy. And in these times of my life, I was very depressed, very insecure, and I believe like in this time I didn't even know what was going on with my life. I was like, I'm just living on this earth. Like, I grew up going to church, I know there's a God, I didn't really know him, and I just knew that like I was like dragging myself day by day. So I really liked it. I was kind of shy to ask to come back, but they actually invited me into their cell groups that they had during the week, and I went, and honestly, I really did experience God. And a lot of people might think that I'm crazy, but honestly, he is real, and I did experience him. And I kind of started to get with the wrong crowd. I stopped going to that church actually, and then I met this girl, and me and her became like best friends. Like, we were like attached to the hip. If you didn't see her anywhere, like, people would be so concerned. Like, we were literally attached to the hip. Wherever I was, she was. Wherever she was, I was. But anyways, I met this girl, and we got into some drugs, and like, I was in grade 11, 10 and 11, I think. No, grade 11 maybe. Yeah, grade 11. I started getting into drugs with her, so we'd smoke up and like drink, and it was kind of like a feeling just to kind of make yourself feel like you weren't even in this world. Like, you were peaceful, calm, you know, nothing to think about, no stress, no worries. So during those days, as I was into drugs and stuff, I kept telling myself, seriously, there has to be so much more to life than this. Like, I wake up every day, I go smoke, and then I just hang out, eat, do it again, smoke, hang out, eat, do it again. And it was like my life was getting boring. And what came to mind during those times that I was sitting in my room alone smoking, I felt like God was there. And I felt like he was reaching down to me saying, Chelsea, I'm real. Chelsea, there's so much more to life. And it's like he reminded me of the times that I went to that church, and honestly, they were so joyful. They had hope, and it just reminds me of the verse, Jeremiah 29:11, that God has plans for you to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And honestly, I was like, you know what, I need what they have. I'm so desperate for what they had to offer. So I messaged one of the persons from the church, and I said, honestly, I really want to come back to church. I want to know God. I ended up going to their church, and honestly, I experienced God like no ever. I told him, if he's real, I want to know, I want to truly experience God. Not know there's a God, I really want to experience the true God. And I went on an encounter, and seriously, it was life-changing. Ever since I went on that, I just knew I had a relationship with God. Like, I started growing a relationship with God. And it's like, I never really realized what I was in for, because when you're a Christian, honestly, it's not an easy life. It's like, oh, you're not going to go through struggles and everything's going to be perfect and God's going to bless you, bless you, bless you. But honestly, it's not that. But seriously, with God, life is awesome. Honestly, ever since then, like, another thing too, I'll kind of explain a little bit more, but like, God's brought me a husband. I got married at 18 years old. I had a kid at 20, and honestly, I wouldn't change it for the world. Like, God has seriously it's like, when you give your life to God and you truly surrender your life to God, he will use you. And honestly, it's just like, I do have joy every day. Even though I go through struggles, I have a joy knowing that whatever happens, like, I'm seated with God. I'm seated with God up in heaven. And it's so cool. And as I mentioned, I'm not going to be going too in deep with this testimony. I want to kind of make it short, but I'm going to be going in deep with other things in my life, like struggles and stuff, and I might elaborate on this a little bit more in the other videos that I'm going to be doing. But it's just going to be a quick testimony on what God's done. But anyways, he's seriously, overall, he's brought me out of insecurity. Like, I seriously feel so secure in him. I don't care that if I have a double chin. I don't care if I have, like, hair that's frizzy. Honestly, I don't care what clothes I have, what brands I have, what people think of me, because I'm seriously so secure in God. And he's really, really, I'm just changed. If you knew me before compared to now, I'm not insecure anymore. And I'm so secure in him, and I know that I am a daughter of him and that he loves me so much, and there's nothing to be insecure about. And if a lot of people knew me in high school, I was very, very insecure, and even people now, they're like, wow, you've changed a lot. And I'm seriously, it's all to God, it's glory to God. So he's, funny thing too, to go back with the drug thing, another thing, honestly, I quit smoking weed the day I gave my life to God. And if you are one to be smoking weed every single day, you are addicted to it. You are literally addicted to it. And honestly, I don't even know the addiction left because I gave it to God. And you know what? Like, if you're, I encourage, if you're struggling with an addiction, give it to God because he will help you through it. And another thing, he has gave me a hope in a future. I did really, really struggle with, getting out of bed every day, it was like a battle. It was like battling myself. I'm like, seriously, why get out of bed? What the heck's the point of this life? I get out every single day with joy because I know that there's a purpose for me and that I am here to do the will of Him. And honestly, it's just, there's so much joy in knowing that, like, even that you're loved by God, because you're loved by the Creator of the earth. It's like we can't even think of that in our mind, that we're loved by the Creator of the earth. Like the guy who created, like, everything, the trees, the ocean, like, we're loved. And it's like, I can't even put that in my mind, but there's just such a joy knowing that I am loved and I am a daughter of the King. And if you're watching, you are too, and you're a son, and like, God loves you. As I said, that is pretty much like all for my testimony. I might have missed a little bit of pieces, like I didn't go in depth, as I said, like I didn't go in depth with what happened at my encounter, how I experienced God, but I kind of just want to do a little testimony just to start off this series, and each video is going to be going in depth with different things. So if it interests you, stay tuned and subscribe to my channel. If you need any prayer, definitely leave it down below because I will be praying for your prayer requests. And other than that, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next episode. Bye!